You're listening to the Telltale Podcast. Don't forget to check me out on all social media, on Patreon, on Teespring, and on Etsy. All links can be found on my website, telltaleatheist.com, or in the podcast's description. A mega fire measuring 1.5 million acres forms in Australia as bushfires merge. A lot of you guys may be unaware of what's happening in Australia at this moment, but there are some serious bushfires happening right now. Like, it's bad. And apparently they have begun to merge and are causing an even bigger mess, killing wildlife. It's really, really horrific and sad and devastating, and I hate to see it. A mega fire measuring 1.5 million acres forms in Australia as bushfires merge. Australia's bushfire crisis worsened Thursday night into Friday as hot, dry, and windy conditions redeveloped across the country's hard-hit southeast, causing two large blazes to merge into one. So this is Thursday night into Friday. This was written on January 10th. I believe that was... Yeah, that was on Friday. So January 10th is when this was happening, from the 9th to the 10th. The new mega fire measures about 1.5 million acres, about the size of the state of Delaware, or roughly 8 times as large as New York City. What we're really seeing with a number of these fires merging is a number of small fires started by lightning strikes across the landscape. New South Wales Rural Fire Service spokesman. That is a long title. New South Wales Rural Fire Service spokesman Anthony Clark told the Sydney Morning Herald. As they grow, we see fires merging, Clark said. Separately, an emergency warning was issued for a blaze in the Southern Highlands region, known as the Moreton Fire, that threatened populated areas. As of midday Friday, firefighters were battling 147 fires in New South Wales, with one at the emergency level, the highest warning category, as a wind shift moved from south to north along the coast. It's really devastating. It's really, really sad to see. A lot of animals dying from this, honestly. This is just devastation being wrought on the planet right now as a result of some really stupid decisions that we as a species have been making. Instead of giving a shit about climate change, this is the end result. This is what happens. And I've said this before. I said this recently. I don't remember where I said it, but I was talking to Mr. Atheist the other day about this, and he pointed out that if we think that we're going to bring everybody together in some kind of a kumbaya situation, people from Australia, people from France, from China, from the US, from Canada, from everywhere. If we think we're going to get everybody involved in fixing climate change, we're wrong. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're not going to fix it that way. Pretty much, in his opinion and in my opinion, the only way we're going to be able to fix climate change is through technology, through something like carbon capture devices or something. I definitely think he's right on that issue. So I hope we get some wealthy investors involved in funding the research to fight climate change, because I think that's basically the only way we're going to win the battle against it. Let's continue reading. The strong winds were reaching speeds of up to 55 miles an hour, lofting embers out ahead of fires to start new spot fires, and propelling the front edges of fires forward at high rates of speed, breaching containment lines. Interestingly enough, I looked this up the other night, just by complete chance, totally unconnected to this article. A tropical storm usually has wind speeds of about 70 miles an hour. So the fact that these wind speeds are reaching up to 55 miles an hour, that's pretty fast. That's just under tropical storm levels, and it's blowing fires and embers all over the place. So complete devastation at this moment. The emergency warning issued for the Moreton Fire near Bundanoon. I apologize to any Australians watching. I know I just bungled that, but I'm trying. So give me credit for that at the very least. Let me try that pronunciation again. Bundanoon. The Moreton Fire near Bundanoon advised residents to seek shelter, noting, "It is too late to leave." Jesus Christ, man. This is scary. Protect yourself from the heat of the fire, the Royal Fire Service said. Emergency warnings were also issued for fires in parts of Victoria. Conditions were so extreme Friday morning that weather forecasters issued a severe thunderstorm warning for a fire-generated thunderstorm. Wow, man. In northeastern Victoria, specifically for damaging winds. The megafire formed when part of the east... Here's one of those words again I'm going to fuck up. I'll try. The megafire formed when part of the East Orne Creek blaze collided with the Duns Road fire near the Clarks Hill Nature Reserve, near the border between the two states. This blaze will be even harder to put out and illustrates the scale of the disaster facing Australia. This article was written 2 days before this podcast is actually going to air publicly. So January 10th is when this happened. January 12th is when this is airing publicly. By the time you see this clip, who knows when it'll be, but the devastation is not good now. I can't imagine what it's going to be in the near future. This is not the first megafire to form during Australia's nightmarish bushfire season. The Gospers mountain fire near Sydney is also the result of multiple fires merging into one, and it has repeatedly sent thick hazardous smoke into highly populated areas. While Australia has had fire seasons that have burned more acreage overall, these fires are unprecedented for their locations. According to Australia's Bureau of Meteorology, the fires in New South Wales are the largest in state history, and the burned area is the most extensive ever documented in eastern Australia. My condolences to anybody in Australia right now. I'm so sorry that you're having to deal with this, and I hope that we can get it together as a species and do something about the cause of these fires, and even do something to maybe help Australians deal with this massive fucking mess. I am so deeply sorry that you have to deal with this.